What is up, Star Wars nerds, and welcome to another episode of Brett on Fett. The two remaining TVC figures from the new Droid set have finally arrived in the US, and so we're going to be talking about the old TV show that those figures were based on. We're going to be taking a closer look at the figures themselves, and then we're going to have part one of a brand new segment of my channel that I'm going to be calling Droid Service, where we take a look at various droid figures. Let's get to it.
I'm not going in there with two Jedi. Send a droid.
Hey, we don't serve their kind here.
What?
Your droids, they'll have to wait outside. We don't want them here.
They must wait out by the speeder. We don't want any trouble.
I heartily agree with you, sir. Hello, sir.
50,000, no less. I really don't know why we droids have to wait in a separate line. It's discrimination.
Welcome back to the channel. This is episode 19 of Brett on Fett. And you know, since 1977, we've been watching droids have to fight for their equal rights and the respect of humans and aliens alike throughout the Star Wars galaxy. So today, I'm giving droids the respect they deserve by dedicating this entire episode to droids. In the fall of 1985, 2 years after Return of the Jedi made its initial theater run, ABC put out the first Star Wars cartoon television series for kids called Droids, The Adventures of R2-D2 and C-3PO. Simultaneously, they also put out a series called Ewoks, based on the Ewoks from Return of the Jedi. And the two shows made up what was known as the Ewoks and Droids Adventure Hour on ABC Saturday mornings. The Droids series aired for just one season and had 14 episodes. It followed R2-D2 and C-3PO as they got into all kinds of trouble getting mixed up with various gangsters and pirates in a time period set between the events of the films Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and Episode 4, A New Hope. Although the show was not well received and ended up getting canceled after one season, there were a couple of notes from the series that I thought were pretty interesting. For example, in addition to the appearance of Bobafett on the series, it also featured the cartoon debut of another bounty hunter, IG-88.
Julpa is mine to capture, not yours to destroy.
In addition to that, the series featured a pirate villain named Kybo Ren.
No one stops Kybo Ren. Blast him.
Kybo Ren. Did Disney seriously come up with the name of their main antagonist for the sequel trilogy based on this guy? Seriously. Is it just a coincidence? Very strange. So with the release of the Droids cartoon came the release of carded action figures by Kenner based on the show, also released in the same year of 1985. And today, some of these figures are actually pretty expensive and in some cases very rare. For example, the Flix figure, which is considered to be the rarest Star Wars carded action figure to ever be commercially released, because it was only released in limited quantities in the country of Brazil due to the show being canceled prior to its mass production. So fast forward all the way to September 2021, where Hasbro announced they were putting out a new series of 3 action figures in the 3.75-inch scale based on the original Kenner Droid series, including R2-D2, C-3PO, and Boba Fett. And these are going to be Target exclusives. They also announced a Droids version of Boba Fett for the 6-inch scale Black Series line, also as a Target exclusive. And the pre-orders went up on September 24th, 2021. And to our delight, the C-3PO figure started arriving to everyone all over in December 2021. So surely the R2 and the Boba Fett figures will be following shortly after, right? Well, if you're in other countries like the United Kingdom, you would be right. But for us Americans, we got nothing. The 2 other figures started arriving in countries like the UK as early as January 2022. But for us Americans, we had to wait. And wait. And wait. And wait. Until finally, around the end of the first week of May 2022, the first appearances of the Boba Fett and the R2-D2 droids figures started showing up at some targets in the United States. And then on Wednesday, May 11th, 2022, I was able to get my hands on both the Boba Fett and the R2-D2 droids figures at a local Target to complete my set of droids figures, and it was glorious.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So let's take a closer look at these awesome carded figures. And here are all 3 droids figures in all their glory. And to me, it's all about the presentation of the packaging with these figures, more so than the quality of the actual action figures themselves. You know, they're really going for that nostalgic feel, you know, with the original artwork on the card backs and the coin. And just the colors really pop. And as you can see, I've put these in these acrylic cases. I like to do that for these types of card backs that I think are just fantastic looking, because I think the acrylic cases really just bring out the colors more vibrantly when you put them on display. And if you want to get some acrylic cases like these, I got these from K-Shells by Tom Hogan. I'll put the email address on the screen. If you just shoot Tom an email of what you're looking for, he'll get you a quote. And they're high quality acrylic cases. I've been very happy with them. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the individual figures, starting with C-3PO, who of course was the very first figure we got here many months ago. Great looking card back. You can see with 3PO they went for that real cartoonish look on his face, and the color is much more of a yellowish gold than what we're used to. There's a look at the artwork. I really like the red coming off that ship. Looks really cool. And then here's a look at the coin. Very neat. I love coins on packaging. So let's take a look at the back of the card, and the back is the same for all 3 figures, and you've got that Lucasfilm 50th anniversary timeline, and interestingly enough, where it shows the Star Wars Droids show, it says 1983, and that is actually a mistake because Droids aired in 1985, and I did verify that, so that is a mistake on these cards. Next up, let's take a look at R2-D2, another great looking card back overall. When looking at R2, you can see it's a much more cartoonish version of him. Definitely going for the look of the cartoon versus the regular R2 we know from the films. And here's a look at the artwork. Very busy, a lot going on there, but very cool. And then here's the coin. A very nice coin there. This one is rotated about 45 degrees on mine. And I'll just show you on the back. You'd see it's, again, the same exact back as the 3PO. Alright, and finally, my favorite of the 3, the Boba Fett. You know, if you watched my episode on Grails, the original version of this, the Kenner 1985 Droids Boba Fett, was number 2 on my list of Holy Grail items that I am looking for. I love the color scheme of this Boba. He's from the original animated holiday special, which they carried over to the Droid series. I love the coin. The coin is the best of the 3. Mine is upside down, unfortunately. That was a little bit irritating, but not that big of a deal. It's just a great looking coin where he's in front of Jabba's sail barge. Again, with the back, it's the same as all 3. But man, I'm so happy with this figure. It's my favorite of the 3, but I really love all 3 of them. Great display pieces for my collection. Alright, so next up, I want to keep this Droids theme going by spotlighting a handful of Droids figures in a new segment for my channel that I'm going to be calling Droid Service. And so for part 1 of Droid Service, we're going to be focusing all on astromech droids. And so let's take a look at the various astromech droid figures that I've yanked out of my collection to show you. Alright, so first off, on the Droid Service part 1, I have pulled 3 of my favorite droids from the Saga collection, starting with R5J2. He is a droid aboard the Death Star 2 from Return of the Jedi. Very cool. I love the black colored droids. This one's kind of an orange / bronzy color. Just taking a look at the back, you got the wave there and then the image of him from the film. And, you know, these Saga collection, they came with these hologram images. And this one came with Boba Fett, so that was pretty awesome. Next up is R4K5. This is Darth Vader's astromech droid that he uses on his Sith starfighter. I really love this droid because he's kind of like the dark side version of R2. I love the color scheme. Vader chose him because of his color scheme. Now, the box says it's from Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, but that is not correct, because he is not in that movie, and in fact he shows up in comic books that take place right after Episode 3. And as you can see, this one came with a Count Dooku hologram figure. But really cool droid. Next up is R4M6, and this is Mace Windu's astromech droid. And if you guys are familiar with my channel, you know I love the 2D Tartakovsky Clone Wars, and that's where this guy is from. He makes an appearance as Mace's starfighter astromech on that show. I love the purple colors. They really pop. Of course, it kind of matches with Mace Windu's lightsaber. You can see here it says Clone Wars on the box. That is accurate. And taking a look at the back of the card, you've got this rendered image there. That is not taken from the Tartakovsky Clone Wars. That was just created for this card back. And you got an image there of R4M6. And then the hologram figure is Emperor Palpatine, or Darth Sidious, whichever you prefer. But really cool looking color scheme. I love all 3 of these designs for these astromechs. Great figures. Next up, I grabbed an astromech droid from my 30th anniversary collection. This is R2B1 from the Phantom Menace. He is one of those astromech droids from Queen Amidala's starship that helps repair the ship when it gets damaged when they're trying to escape Naboo in one of those early scenes from Phantom Menace. I love the color scheme on this droid. The blue and the yellow really pop. I love the artwork image on the card back. I love the coin. Of course, all the 30th anniversary figures came with a coin, which is why I love that series. And taking a look at the back, let's see, it's got an awesome image of him going into that tube that takes him up to the top of the ship where they work on the repairs. And there's a photo of the rest of the wave from that series. And great figure. Next up, I pulled out a tremendously special astromech droid. This is R2KT, the pink R2 unit. This was made in honor of a little girl named Katie Johnson, who happened to be the daughter of the founder of the fan club, the 501st Legion, which is an awesome group that they make their own stormtrooper outfits and they put on shows. They do tons of charity work. And little Katie tragically passed away from brain cancer in 2005, and working with the Make-A-Wish Foundation when she was undergoing treatments, they had this group build her own R2 droid to watch over her, which was this R2KT. And so they made this action figure in honor of her through Make-A-Wish Foundation and San Diego Comic-Con. And just an awesome story and an awesome figure. Alright, so you guys know I'm a TVC collector at heart, so I had to bring out some astromech droids from the vintage collection. Starting with my Revenge of the Jedi R2-D2. Of course, this originally came out as Return of the Jedi, but then they released those special series of Revenge of the Jedi card back figures. And this one's got that limited edition Boba Fett sticker. And taking a look at R2, I love this version of R2 with so many accessories, with the bar, with the cups, and the little server thing. And then he's got the Luke Skywalker lightsaber and the sensor scope. And the panels open up on this figure. It's just a great figure. Yes, it could use some updating. It's a little outdated, the mold, but it's still really awesome with all the accessories. And then looking at the back, I love the TVC 1.0 backs. You can see this is VC25, and it's got the image and a little write-up. Really miss these style of backs on TVC. And there's a look at the other Revenge of the Jedi cards that came with that special series. Next up is another one of my favorite TVC figures, mainly because of the card back is so awesome. This is R5D4, and you may have seen my best card backs episode. I ranked this #1. I love it so much. There's so much going on with Luke and R5 and the Jawas, and R2's taking a peek in there. And it's a good looking figure. It's there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, I could probably use an update. But it's good enough. It's mainly the card back that sells this for me. And then looking at the back, it's VC40, and it's that TVC 1.0 style back. They really had it right back then with the image of the original card back and the little write-up. But great looking figure. And finally, we have R2-D2 from A New Hope on that classic card back image from the original 12 back figure. Very clean looking R2, but then you go over to the figure and it's like, whoa, what happened here? They went way overboard with the weathering, the dirt paint on him, if you will. I'm not sure what they were thinking. I think they were trying to make him kind of dirty from when he's going through the desert in the beginning of the film. But I just think they way overdid it. It almost looks closer to the Dagobah R2 where he's all muddy from falling in a swamp. I just thought this was a big miss with the paint apps on this one. I much would have preferred just a regular clean R2 to go with that card back. And that's why I'm really looking forward to the new Empire Strikes Back R2 that's going to be coming out later this year. And that's going to do it for part 1 of Droid Service. So let me know in the comments what you think about the new Droids figures. And if you're in the US, let me know if you started seeing them yet in your local Targets. Also, let me know what you think about the new Droids segment, and if there's any particular droids that you would love to see me cover on future segments of Droid Service. Thank you so much for watching. As always, thank you so much to my subscribers. Please remember you can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Take care, and we'll see you next time.